I've now finished the main quest line in Tales of the Shire, and I want to share my honest thoughts one last time. If you're on the fence about whether this cozy Hobbit life sim is worth your time or your money, hopefully this video will help you decide. I'm going to cover what I loved, what could be better, and talk a little bit about why there's been so much negativity surrounding this game. Because, yep, I've seen the comments. But spoiler alert, I really liked it. So I spent just over 14 hours playing Tales of the Shire. I reached almost the end of autumn in game, and to the best of my knowledge, I completed the main storyline. It's a little hard to say for sure though. There wasn't a big "you did it" moment, no credits rolling, no dramatic cutscene, just a quiet sense of closure. The hobbits carried on with their lives, and you know what? I kinda love that. It felt right, like the most hobbity thing possible. No fuss, just another day in the Shire. That being said, I am far from finished. There's still so much I want to do. Fishing, foraging, cooking, farming, leveling up friendships, trying out every recipe. And oddly enough, that doesn't feel like a chore. It actually feels like something I want to do. I think part of that magic comes from the seasonal changes. Each season brings new ingredients to grow, different things to forage or catch. It gives me a reason to keep exploring, to stay curious, to keep playing. What I appreciated most was just how Hobbit this game feels. It's not epic, it's not dramatic, it's not even especially deep. And that's not a bad thing. It's personal, small scale, local even. The hobbits here have little lives and little problems, and we get to help them solve those problems. Is it mostly fetch quests and back and forth errands? Yep, but that's kind of the point. You get a little glimpse into their world, help them retrieve a missing cow or argue about flour, or work together to decide the best pie. It is delightfully mundane. Although 14 hours in and I still haven't memorized the way to Delphi's tree. That path simply eludes me. The cooking system in Tales of the Shire surprised me in the best way. It's not just click ingredients and watch the magic happen. You have to actually try. You have to line things up, aim for that perfect texture and deliciousness, and when it all comes together and you hit that 3 or 4 star rating, oh, so satisfying. My pantry is slowly filling up with ingredients and dishes, and every new recipe feels like a little victory. I'm also still charmed by the art style. I know, it's not everyone's cup of tea. Some people say it's not pretty enough, it's too cartoony, but to me it's warm and inviting. It reminds me of Wildflowers in a way. Big hands, big heads, cheerful colours, happy animals, the kind of world I don't mind escaping to for a few hours at a time. Of course, it's not all perfect. There's no voice acting. And while that's pretty standard for cozy games, think Stardew Valley, Fields of Mystery, or even Animal Crossing, I do think full voice acting, like in Wildflowers, would have added a lot here. The characters, while lovable, sometimes feel underdeveloped. It took me a little while to get to know them, to build a connection with them. Delphi's story had the most potential, emotionally speaking, but even that left me wishing for more. Just a little more depth, more dialogue, more time. And like I mentioned earlier, the ending was kind of a non-event, which isn't a deal breaker. Many cozy farming games don't end per se, but still, I wouldn't have minded a little something more to mark the moment. Again, I can't help but compare it to Wildflowers, where we had a roll credits scene. Now let's talk about the backlash. There's been a lot of negativity surrounding Tales of the Shire. Some of it fair, some of it not. I've seen people say things like, this isn't Tolkien, he'd be rolling in his grave, it disrespects the lore, and I understand where that's coming from. If your version of Middle-earth is epic battles, ancient prophecies, and dark lords, then sure, this game will never scratch that itch. But not everything set in Tolkien's world has to be that. The Hobbit begins and ends in a quiet place with small people who like good food, a warm hearth, and a second breakfast. Tales of the Shire leans into that part of the world, and I believe it does it with love and sincerity. And look, if this game isn't for you, that's fine. It won't be for everyone. But I do think there's a big difference between this doesn't suit my taste and this shouldn't exist. What's most frustrating to me is when people criticize the game without ever having played it, or worse, mocking those who do enjoy it. That's just not thoughtful critique. That's just following the hate train because it's the cool thing to do online. So yeah, I finished Tales of the Shire and I genuinely had a lovely time. Is it the best cozy game ever made? No. Is it perfect? Also no. But is it charming, warm, and surprisingly Moorish? For me, absolutely. Will it sit next to Stardew Valley on people's favorite game lists? That really depends on the player. But if you're even a little bit curious, I'd say give it a try and form your own opinion, because under all that noise, there's something really sweet here. And I'm excited to keep playing until I've foraged every berry, caught every fish, and finally find the path to Delphi's tree. Thank you so much for watching, and if you've played this game, let me know what you thought in the comments. If not, are you willing to try it, or are you still on the fence? Either way, I'll see you in the next one. And remember, third breakfast is a thing if you believe hard enough.